Okay. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of Random Rhapsody's test play of Magi-Knights TTRPG system. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and magic keeper for this mini-series event, and joining me around my virtual table today are Alyssa, Dasonie, Hitoshura, Jeff, and Steven. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
And isn't it
I fucked that up. Hi, everyone.
When wonderfully everyone can hear everybody because my sound is actually working today, so woo! Now, before we begin, I want to give a shout out to the Magi-Knights project team. While the Kickstarter is over, you can still pre-order a copy of the official rulebook from their webpage, which is Magi-Knights.com. Next off, we have 3 new one-shots coming up for the holiday season. First, we have the conclusion to our summer one-shot, The Defenders of the Wall, which will be aired on Sunday, September the 25th at 5 p.m. Central and hosted by me. After that, we have our Halloween one-shot, The Hunt for the Tarrasque, which will be on Sunday, October the 23rd, and hosted by Kyle Thomas from the Fab Five. Finally, we have our Winter Holiday one-shot, which will be on Monday, December the 19th, and hosted by Briana McKnight from the Debauchery Circus. Now, you can keep up to date on all of our scheduling by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. Okay, that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we return to Europa City and continue on with the Magi-Knights as they investigate An Echo from the Stars. And we're back. So to start things off tonight, everyone is going to roll a d20, and whomever rolls the lowest is going to give us a recap of our previous episode from the perspective of their character. I will, of course, fill in any blanks you all can't remember, so we'll go from that point. And we're already rolling.
I got a 15.
I got an 18.
15.
Okay, I'll this. Ha! Wow.
I was confident it was gonna be me.
Okay, Dasonie. Jasmine, why don't you tell us about what happened last episode on Magi-Knights?
Last time we were seen on Magi-Knights, we were chilling outside of a Blockbuster video, trying to figure out what was happening. We're like, where are we going? What's going on? Had no clue. Then we looked across the street, saw a cliff with like a deck off inside of it. Decided to walk over to it because our crystals were glowing. A lot, actually. Walked over to the side of it, saw a large grouping of cultists, kids from the school, and just bad things, bad vibes all around. And we were like, oh, we clearly have to stop this because they're, again, trying to summon some weird demon thing. So we engage. Whether by hook or by crook, some people going down to engage with like the large group of cultists themselves. Me personally staying on the ledge to begin with to just shoot them from like the top of the cliff downwards using beam. A fighting happened. good wild fighting happened. At first, us getting beat up by the large group of cultists, but then, was it David? Yes, it was. Yes, it was David. Using explode on them, very useful, very helpful. Actually, turn the tides of battles. Was using beam a lot. Was very fun. Then the main cultist guy, who was hiding in a shadow the entire time. Eventually, we realized he was just like under somebody's token, so that's why he kept disappearing. Um, I was like, wow, drag us actually. Um, put me in a silence spell. Couldn't do anything, but throw my wand like a tiara, like not throw my wand, which is my tiara, like a sword or a dagger. Listen, I don't know thrown weapons that well. Don't fight that often.
Like Wonder Woman.
Or Sailor
Yeah.
Moon. Very Sailor Moon vibes.
Mhm. Yes. All of those things that make sense. We
Yeah.
eventually won the fight. The kids became unfrozen because they were frozen in time, which is how we knew they weren't involved. I only asked to kill one of them at least a couple times until I figured that out. Then after we beat up the people, they disappeared into the ether, and like the kids were fine. We ran because the police were showing up, and I'm still trying to avoid them.
Probably a good thing, too, yeah. But very well done, Jasmine. Okay, Magi-Knights. After defeating the cultists, you and your you use your magic to gather up the spectral energy from those unconscious cultists and turn it into gloom gems. And you did have the cops starting to show up to come and collect the unconscious enemies. So the disappearance of the man in the purple robes is still no doubt weighing heavily on your minds. But it's at least a relief to see that the Ghost Hunters Club kids did regain consciousness enough to stumble away from the scene before the cops arrived. Now, it's well past midnight by this point, and I'm sure you're all quite tired from this evening's activities. But, Magi-Knights, what are you wanting to do?
That's a good question.
Yeah, mainly I'm asking, is there anything else you wanted to accomplish this evening, or are you just wanting to head off to bed?
Probably just sleep.
It's not a bad choice. Even the Wanderer has kind of been flying beside you, like, it's getting really late, you all. I don't know how much longer you want to stick around and do anything.
Yeah, I mean it's all over, right?
I'll keep an eye on the people, make sure that they get out all right.
The Ghost Hunter Club kids?
Club, yeah.
Yeah, they did eventually go climbing out of the ravine. They all seemed very, very disoriented. You saw, I imagine you all kind of hid in the shadows a little bit just to watch, to see what they did. And they all kind of like climbed up out of the ravine, had that one of those moments of just shaking their heads and like, what the hell? Glanced back down into the ravine. All of them kind of jump a little bit at the sight down there. They all kind of huddled together, and then you saw them as a group begin to walk away. If you want to follow them and make sure they get home, it's just going to be a simple stealth check from the group.
Alright. I mean, I'll probably do that. I don't know that anybody else needs to go with me.
But what if there's ghosts?
Good question, Shaggy. I mean, if you want to come with, that's cool too.
Sure.
Cool.
The rest of you, are you going to follow make sure the Ghost Hunters Club kids get home okay, or are y'all just going to head off and go back to bed?
I'm going to bed.
It's a absolutely valid decision. It is getting super, super late. So those of you who are actually going to follow the Ghost Hunter Club kids home, just give me a stealth check, please. With advantage, because they're not really, like, looking around or anything. They still seem pretty out of it.
Okay, so exhaustion is physical.
What is this
No.
game?
I rolled a 4. Okay, do I have to beat my exhaustion?
Yeah, you
Right.
got to beat your exhaustion.
Okay, so I rolled a 4, so I still suffer the penalties. So then it's -4. Where's my stealth? +2, so it's -2 at advantage, though. Okay. So 16.
Okay, 16. You're much more stealthy than Iris is. And you keep mostly to the shadows, where Iris, like, you're trying to keep to the shadows, but not nearly as well as Daryl is. But, like I said, they're not really looking around too much, so a 10 is perfectly fine.
Nice.
You all watch. They all make their way towards the inner city of Lapis, or not Lapis, Coltrast here. Anywho, so yeah, they each one makes it home. Eventually, like, they do all split off and go their separate ways, and you have to choose who you're going to follow. But whomever you do follow, like, the oddest part about the whole experience is the fact that they're this, like,
Bill?
not very what's the word I'm looking for? Not very observant. They honestly seem like they're going on remote control or on autopilot, I guess would be the better term. They mostly just head on home. There's no conversation. Just like odd sort of disoriented kids making their way home, almost as though they're slightly drunk.
No, they're just in shock. It's not that odd.
Yeah, fair enough. But eventually, all of you make your way home and to your own beds. So, you guys all are going to get, what is it here? Sleep actually has its own system here in Magi-Knights. There you go. Or at least it would be for you, because for some reason it's not popping up for me. Probably have to reload Echo from the Stars.
Yes.
You know, it's not a D&D date until I have to reload Roll20.
Mm-hmm.
So
There we go. So
get the average sleep effect.
yes. You all get the average sleep effect. So what it is you regain hit points equal to your Constitution modifier plus half your total HP. You recover all of your mana points. You reduce your stress points by 3. You reduce your exhaustion points by 1. And you recover 2 crystalline fractures. Technically, it's 2 plus a quarter of your reputation, but all of your reputations are 1.
Is it 1 or is it 0?
0.
0. Yeah, sorry, it's 0 starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I gotta see where I put my crystalline fractures because it says I have a point of trauma. But
Yeah, you had quite a few crystalline fractures. Wait a minute, no, you only had 2 because you died during your encounter with the spectral outsider in the dream realm.
yeah.
And so, but you came back to life and got a second fracture. So you should only have 2.
Okay, then I guess I don't have any more now.
Yes.
Those go away.
Yes, those do go away. David and Tilia, I think you two had quite a few.
Yeah, I still have 2 left after this sleep.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm still trying to figure that out.
It's like I never had a fracture at all.
Well, you got 2 fractures during the battle, Jasmine. Because you went down once and you came back.
That is.
I recovered.
But
all
hey,
my
you regain
energy.
them, so that's good
Yeah.
at least.
And I lose
like
how
I
many
never-
fracture points? Sorry?
What's that?
How many
2 fracture.
points? 2.
2 fracture.
Alright. Yeah, so I also have... I can't speak.
That's okay. I was tripping over myself earlier today.
Like David, I also have 2 left.
When I called Laropa City Lapis and then Coltrest, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. One of those tongue-tie days, but that's okay.
Desert Jewel.
It's
Exactly.
fine. It can change
Yeah.
its name whenever you want.
Well, I don't, damn it.
Every time it has a major life event, it changes its name.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Okay, but anyway, you all get your sleep for the night. I doubt your dreams are the greatest in the world, any of you, but you certainly don't have the nightmares that you could. The day begins. Today is Thursday, August the 27th, 1995. Somebody go ahead and give me a D100 roll to see what the weather is for today.
Sure. 83.
83. Okay. So today turns out to be warmer than normal. There is no precipitation, but the wind is extremely heavy. You all get outside with your blazers on for your school, and the moment you step outside, the wind is just hitting you and pushing you. And like you, David, you're kind of small, and I imagine you get like it's almost as though it's pushing you along a little bit as you walk.
Same, because my strength's only a 9.
Indeed.
I ride the wind.
You all know as you're heading to school that today is a B day on your schedule. And you also know that yesterday was an A day, and you had a pop quiz that day. So chances are you're going to get the same thing for your beef day phase. Which kind of sucks. You can't help but admit.
I don't know, that requires a level of coordination that I don't think most teachers have.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll see. But as you all make your way to school, is there anything you all want to discuss or consider or strategize before you get to school for today?
Mostly, I'm just putting up my collar and making sure that my body is covered, because I don't want any windburn.
Well, I'm sure in the back of your mind, the fact that you have, 2 more detentions?
Yep.
That's got to be weighing on you at least a little bit. But if there's no real talk amongst yourselves, you all do eventually arrive at school. A little bit before the first bell of the day rings out. But you know I love ringing the bell. There it is.
Beautiful. Too bad the person who doesn't like it isn't here anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Now, the first thing you notice is that as you all walk into school for the day, there's a lot of people staring at you and people kind of huddling together and talking behind hands or behind a trapper keeper or something. And there's a lot of eyes on you. I don't care what your passive perception is. You can just feel that, just the gazes as you all stride into school for the day.
Daryl, I blame you. You're the one who got in the fight.
Can we make out anything that's being said?
Make a perception check.
25.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, between Eloise and Tilly, I'm at my perception rolls.
Yeah. You're attentive to everything, which is probably good. So,
Which is hilarious because Alyssa's a player is hard of hearing, so she's not gonna notice shit.
fair enough. But this is what you do here. Aren't those the kids who jumped the school paper editor? Yeah. The one there is on the track team, and the other one, that's a transfer student. What's their problem anyway? I don't know. I hear they're mentally disturbed or something. Mark's telling everyone that they jumped him for no reason, and they just came up and started a fight. And people who saw it are kind of saying the same thing. They're yelling about some sophomore kid. It was really weird. That's kind of the vibe you're getting.
Of course, it's never his fault.
Well, of course not. Why would it be? Now, your first class of the day is history with Mr. Rothen. As you all step inside Mr. Rothen, who's a very short little man with kind of one of those like really satirical smiles, as though he thinks he's smarter than everybody else, and he might actually be. He says, "Sit down now, class. I don't have time for all your foolishness. It's time for a pop quiz." And so I'm going to need everybody to roll an academic arts or an insight check for me.
Insight is good.
Academic arts or what?
insight.
Sorry?
Insight.
Okay.
Insight or academic arts.
No penalties this time.
Oh.
11. Yikes. Even with a +5.
I need to switch it to school music.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
There we go.
I got a very cute 4.
Yeah, ouch. Very cute 4, unfortunately, is a failure.
Right there with you with a 6.
6 is also a failure, unfortunately. Daryl, how about you?
11.
11 is a failure as well.
Yikes.
Iris?
Oh, wait, shoot, I have that ability.
Jeez, how high do you need to roll for this thing?
Okay, that's, not important. I'm looking for... It says history, but... Oh, that's a 22, okay. It
Wow.
says history, but that's my academics, because I'm not proficient with academics or anything.
Got it. Well, a nat 20 is always 2 successes. Yeah. How about you, David?
23.
23. That is a success as well. So 2. Okay. So, as you're all going from first period to second, I'd also like each of you to make me another perception check.
Hell yeah.
A perception check, he says.
Jeez, what's with these bad rolls?
I'm distracted by how terrible my history class was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Who got above a 14?
Yo.
Iris.
did.
Yeah, only
Okay.
Iris.
Okay. Well, Iris, as you're going to your second period class, which is science, by the way, you notice, well, actually, I'm not sure if you've actually met her yet or not personally, but you see a short, kind of mousy brown hair girl with very large eyes clutching a backpack, and is currently being led towards the office by the nurse.
Oh, that's that
Now,
Lacey chick.
Yeah, as you're looking at her, like, the first thing that dawns, oh, I think that might be that Lacey chick. But also it dawns on you as you see her that she's, without a doubt, the cutest young lady you've ever seen. I mean, it doesn't really matter what your preferences are. It's just you can't help but deny the fact that she is adorably cute.
Like a puppy.
A little bit.
Gee, like a succubus? I don't understand.
You kind of you like slow a little bit and just watch, and she is led into the office, the front office of the school, which is also where the nurses' room is.
Can I roll mysticism to see if she is magically gorgeous? If she is perhaps maybe a succubus or something like that.
Sure, I'll allow it. Go ahead and roll a mysticism check.
Oh, why do I only roll bad on the things I want?
Like
Things you're
you kind of
supposed to be good at?
yeah. You sit there and think to yourself, and you unconsciously grab onto your soul crystal as you do this. But there's nothing magical about her. She's just adorable.
Okay, she's not Lucky Charms.
No, she's not Lucky Charms.
Not magically delicious.
Well, you never know. You got to give her a taste.
Oh, jeez.
But there is science class is starting up soon, so you're going to have to hurry and get there if you don't want to be late. But I assume you're heading straight there.
Yep.
So science is taught by Mr. Hawthorne, a gray-haired man with long hair that's kind of swept back a little bit and just hangs loose. You are going to be rolling a STEM or a medicine check for his period. Feel free to call him out when you roll.
23 again.
Success.
9.
Failure.
17.
Success.
8.
Failure. Poor Jasmine, unfortunately, is rolling on their phone today, so...
That's a 16 plus 2, so 18.
18, that's definitely a success. So go ahead and mark those down.
I had a little bit of good rolls, and now I'm just cursed the rest of the day.
Isn't that how it sometimes happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? You now head off to third period. Third period is a foreign language of your choice. Whatever you're wanting to take for foreign language, that's what you're taking. I want to say someone said Latin the last time this came up.
Yeah, that's mine. I picked Latin.
Okay. So, since there's so many different languages, I don't have names for these teachers, but you're going to be rolling an academic arts or an investigation check.
$22. Finally, a good roll.
Yeah. 22
10.
is a success.
10, that's an alright roll. I think it's still a failure.
It is still a failure, unfortunately. Tilia, 14 is a failure as well.
13.
13 is also a failure.
I have a question because I think I missed it. Was
Yes.
last night a regular sleep or a restful sleep?
It was a regular sleep.
Okay.
Now, I will point out to both Tilia and David that both of you do have your NPC help for the day.
I do.
Everyone has one NPC that gives them a D4 that they can roll once a day that can help with school. So if you want to use them, you can.
Fine, it's a
I
6.
got an 8.
8 is a failure, Jasmine. David, what did you say yours was?
16.
16 is a success. Tilia?
Same thing, 16.
Same thing. 16. Success. Okay. So at the end of your AM classes, let's go ahead and tally up all your successes and failures. Every failure negates a success. If you have no successes and only failures, you just count down. So let's go around in the circle. Tilia, how many successes or failures? One success? Okay. So, average day for you. Nothing bad happens, but it's definitely not great. You could do a little bit better. But it doesn't...
Having studied do, doesn't that have a mechanic of some sort?
Yes, actually, it does.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have that too.
Same.
Let me go ahead here. Pull that up
Because we
real
studied
quick.
at Magic Shop, so...
Yeah, let me pull up the studied thing.
Studied effect grants proficiency in academic or STEM skill during the next student burden phase. If you already have proficiency with both, double your proficiency. So that's proficiency in any of our academic or STEM checks for the day?
Well, it would be either any academic, art, or skill check.
Okay.
So let's see here. So you could have used that on your first period or your third period if you wanted to, or it would have affected either of those.
History, History was the one I failed. So.
Do you remember what you rolled?
No. Hang on, I'll go back. Because it was... Oh, a 6. Yeah, doubling my proficiency is not going to help there.
Yeah, it would not.
No.
Okay. Okay, but you still had the one, which is keep up the positive attitude. You're doing okay, but things could get better, so no change. Let's see. Sterile.
One net failure.
One net failure?
Yes.
Okay. So there's always tomorrow. You gain 1 stress point.
Lol.
David.
I had 3, but I also have no stress, so it doesn't do anything.
You have 3 failures?
No, 3 successes.
No, 3 successes. Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah. Removes 2 stress point. Yeah, that's a bummer. But hey, oh well. Jasmine.
I also have a net failure, like 1.
You have 1 failure? Okay, there's always tomorrow. Gain 1 stress point. Iris.
0.
An actual 0. Okay. Yeah. Well, keep up that positive attitude. You're doing okay, but things could be better. So no change to you. Okay. Well, that's it for your AM phase, and now we're coming up to lunch, which is always a good time.
Having a good time.
After the AM phase, is it the BM phase?
Yeah.
And then the CM.
And then lunch.
Once we get past the CM, then we're in the DM phase, which is like the DM's favorite part.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Magi-Knights in chat is pointing out that I know you guys are playing 2.2, but the studied effect was changed later on in the newer versions, and so now it's add a 1d8 to any student burden skill check after the dice have been rolled. So it's not just a 2 or a 1; you actually get a 1d8 to add to that.
Oh.
Now that still wouldn't help you out, Tilia. So
I would have only even if I had rolled a full 8, it would have only gotten me to 14. So if we are gonna are we taking the updated rule? Or are we keeping?
I'm fine to take with this updated rule.
Okay. So then I will save my D8 for maybe my next 3 classes after lunch.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
Fail.
Fail. Absolutely
You've
fail.
already planned your next.
I have. But next off is lunch period. So you all get to use your 30-minute lunchtime to interact with one another or your fellow students. This includes exchanging information, listening to local gossip from friends, or having friendly interactions. Every lunch period, each of our Magi-Knights gets to choose one lunchtime activity. So, the activities you can do are, which I'll go ahead and show you so you can all look at it too. There you go. See it now? Mm-hmm. Okay. You can relax and eat with friends. You can get in a last-minute cram session. You can listen to gossip, which gives you more information about things you could look into. You can drink copious amounts of caffeine. Or you could take a power nap. So, with that in mind, Magi-Knights, as you all step into lunch and gather up your lunches and kind of look around for the day, or for a table, you do, once again, you're noticing that people are kind of looking at you and talking behind their hands, and there's definitely that attention vibe going on with your group. But with the lunch period going on, what activity would you like to do? And let's start with Iris.
All right. I'm going to go bother the Ghost Hunter Club people. Make sure that they're all right. Still alive.
Okay. So you want to listen to gossip. Well, go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Get up. 13 isn't terrible.
Yeah, 13 is not too bad. Okay, we'll get to you in 1 second. I just want to go around and see what everybody's doing and do some rolls, and then we'll narrate from there. So, Jasmine, what lunchtime activity are you wanting to do?
I also want to listen to gossip.
Okay, good idea. Go ahead and give me a an investigation roll as well. While Jasmine's doing that, David, what are you wanting to do?
David is going to have a last-minute cram session for his next class for fine arts, because I think, or not fine arts, for language arts. I'm looking at the wrong day.
Language arts.
Either way.
Okay.
It's his worst skill.
No, that's fair, and that's pretty much what David has done every single lunchtime that we've had so far. I feel like. Okay, yeah, absolutely. You sit down and start doing a last-minute cram session. Daryl, what about you?
Well, Daryl's not hearing any of the whisper, because Daryl's taking a power nap.
Power nap, huh?
I got 3 stress points and 3 exhaustion points, which now goes down to 1 stress point and 3 exhaustion points.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. It's been a rough few days for you, Daryl.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. Okay, Tilia, how about you?
I think I'm gonna cram for math.
Okay, cram session for math.
Oh, Matt.
Yes.
I call out to the Wanderer. Does he show up?
Yeah, absolutely. The Wanderer shows up. You just kind of whisper, "Wanderer, are you here around?" And you look back and forth as you're sitting down with Tilly and David at a table, and there the Wanderer is sitting on the floor underneath the table.
No.
He jumps up onto one of the chairs, and give you a look like, "What's up, Daryl?"
I wasn't calling out to him during the actual part where I'm eating lunch. I was calling out to him during my power nap so that I could have a cuddle buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to have your power nap during lunch, but if you're not in the lunchroom, like if you're going to find some quiet corner, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm just not.
You can.
All I was saying is I'm not trying to ask him anything. I'm just like, nap time. Let me get soft, warm, fuzzy thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Wanderer will just appear there next to you, and you kind of pick him up and set him on your lap, and he just kind of does one of those cat spins around. He kneads at you a little bit. You get those little pointy claws going through your pants leg a little bit, and like you have to bite your lip, but eventually he settles down, and you can fall asleep.
Yay. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Tillian, David, the both of you sit down at a table, pull out your books, and begin studying. So you are going to, on that class, your DC is going to be lowered by 4, or we'll just actually add 4 to your roll, just to make life easier.
You guys are just always studying together.
I know, right? What's going on with that?
I'll ship it.
We're not studying together. David is doing the homework right now.
Hey, it won't be too long before they're studying anatomy together.
Oh my gosh, please don't.
Loot Bunny in chat.
We have this year.
Sorry. Loot Bunny in chat saying, I'm surprised the Wanderer puts up with that kind of thing. But he's a cat. You know, cat's going to take attention if he wants to take attention. And, he's kind of chill.
Yeah.
Magi-Knights is saying, but just look at that pure smile of joy that Daryl has showing. He's got to take pity on these kids. And you're 100% right. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, with the amount of stress and exhaustion points I had the past couple of days, even if the Wanderer wasn't normally like that, he'd probably be like, yeah, I'll give you a pass this time. Because you got beat to hell and back, boy.
Okay. So, Jasmine and Iris, you both want to look and try to listen in on gossip. You specifically, Iris, want to go look for the Ghost Hunter kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to start off with you, and as you kind of get up and kind of look around the lunchroom, you actually see the Ghost Hunter kids sitting at a nearby table. And the reason you notice, like, your eyes pass over them at first and you don't notice, but then there's Bianca walking directly towards you, her hands on her hips, and a look of thunder about her face as she's storming up towards you. So then you see them, like, all sitting at a corner right behind her, kind of huddled together, their heads down, but they're all looking in your direction.
Okay. Guess I'll just let her approach.
Well, yeah, she absolutely does. She comes storming up to you. She just stands there, and she's like a little woman. Dark brown hair, chestnut-colored skin, and dark brown eyes that are just very large. She has a lot of piercings on her ears. She wears a lot of rings, and she seems really visibly agitated as she's just kind of scowls at you, looking up at you, and says, "Who the heck did you tell about our meeting last night?"
Nobody. Why?
I don't believe that. We arrived and you were there when we were talking about it at our last meeting. We know you heard us. And when we arrived to meet with the people who speak with the outsiders, they were all knocked unconscious and the police were coming to get them. You must have told somebody, or you must have called the police.
I didn't. I walked by, I saw that something was going on, but I didn't call the police or anything else.
Give me a deception check.
With a -2.
Didn't call the police. Tilia did.
Yeah,
she was still a part of the group, though.
Yeah.
Lie of omission, still a lie.
14 isn't terrible.
14 isn't terrible, but it is not enough to convince her. And she says to you, Your membership to the Ghost Hunters Club has been revoked. I don't ever want to see you in my club again. And she turns like sharp turn, her hair goes flying backwards and kind of smacks you in your face a little bit, and she goes storming off away back to to her club members at the table. What do you do?
I guess Iris is just gonna, sit down quietly and maybe listen.
Maybe listen. Fair enough. Yeah, that she definitely seemed pretty pissed off, and all of everything she saw seems to be lumping on you. Jasmine, was there anything in particular you wanted to look for, or are you just kind of listening in and kind of getting the general vibe of the
I just wanted to know why everybody was talking about us, because I don't remember jumping somebody.
You actually weren't there at the time. Now, like I said, are you wanting to question, just kind of question around, ask people what's going on? Are you wanting to ask somebody in particular, or are you just wanting to listen in? Is more what I'm asking.
Just listen in. I assume somebody.
Okay.
I'm not the only person who just wasn't here that day. They gotta be catching somebody up on it.
Oh, no, definitely. There's a lot of talk going around. So you just kind of sit back as you're eating your lunch and start listening in. You hear a lot of mixed stories, but most of them seems to be focused on the fact that your friend Daryl came running up to Mark Polster in the hallway, screaming about stealing his girlfriend. And then they argued for a little bit. Then Mark turned around and started to walk away. And then Daryl just straight up kicked him in the nuts. At which point started a very large fight that eventually got broken up and they all got sent to detention. But you also hear that Mark has been spreading a lot of rumors and talking a lot about the fight. He's saying how Daryl jumped him and how this kid from overseas is clearly deranged and seems to be trying to steal people's girlfriends, which is something that you've heard before, but in reverse.
This goes on for too long, eventually it'll be, yeah, and he pulls a gun on me.
I think if that's the case, she's gonna walk up to Mike Hoffman, because I think she's mostly irritated that jumped you, sir. Most of us weren't even there.
So you want to go look for Mark Polster?
Yeah, let's just cut it off at the head now.
Okay. Go ahead and give me one more perception check, or an investigation check. I'll allow either one to see if you can find him in the lunchroom. And also, Iris, I'm going to let you go ahead and roll me one more perception as well, because you did say that you're just sitting down and listening and seeing if you can pick up anything else after your negative encounter with Bianca. So go ahead and give me that as well.
I got a 23 investigation.
Very nice. Yep.
I'm also gonna pick up a carton of milk on my way, to him.
Okay. You can absolutely do that. You can grab a carton of milk. It still has the picture of Sarah Smith, a young blonde woman with glasses, age 16, that's been missing for a few months now on it. But with your 23 investigation, you absolutely do spot Mark Polster. He actually is walking out of the lunchroom right now and seems to be heading towards the library.
Yo, can we talk for a second?
Okay, you yell out, calling for Mark. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Wow. So yeah, you got a nat 20 there, buddy.
I rolled a nat 20.
So, yelling out loud, you catch Mark just as he's stepping through the door from the lunchroom. And he stops and turns and looks at you. And as he does, you see a very confused look on his face. Because he has no clue who the hell you are. But his curiosity is at least piqued. And he walks over and says, "Yeah? What do you want?"
I want to say it loud enough so like everyone in the lunchroom can hear it to like cause a bit of a scene. Why are you lying about my friend?
Lying about your friend? Who's your friend?
The guy who kicked you in the nuts?
Oh, that idiot? I'm not lying about nothing. That guy's psycho.
Yeah, but at least he isn't a liar. He told people he kicked you in the nuts and you keeled over like a bitch.
I didn't keel over like a bitch. What the hell you know? You weren't even there.
Well, it seems like the whole school's talking about it, and you had to tell people you got jumped because you let a weedy foreign kid whoop your ass?
Weedy foreign kid came running up behind me and kicked me in the nuts.
And here I thought you didn't keel over. It seems like you can't stop lying.
His face definitely darkens at that, and he's like, whatever.
Oh.
Fucking new kid too. I don't even know why the hell I'm talking to you.
Oh, to buy me time to do this, and I'm gonna dump the milk carton on his head. Now you can say a friend
Okay.
was messing with you.
Now, okay, so here's what I want from you. I want you to make a dexterity check with advantage, because he's not expecting this chick to start throwing milk at him.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so it looks like you rolled a 10 on that first D100 or D20 roll, which I'm gonna say actually is enough to catch him off guard. And like you raise your arm off, and he like goes thinking you're about to hit him, and like kind of raises his hands up to block, but then you just splash that milk at him, and it just hits him right in the face, and it just pours down his chest, and he's just like, "Oh God!" And he what?
I want to do something much worse. I want to dump it on the top of his head, going hair down.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, absolutely.
Neck, everything.
Yeah, so you just kind of reach up and pour real hard at him, and like the moment you do, there's just this collective gasp throughout the entire lunchroom, and like you kind of glance around a little bit, and everybody is watching this interaction because you've been very loud about it, and like you see Mark getting redder and redder and angrier, and like his fists are starting to clench a little bit. But then you hear in the background from behind you another voice, a female voice that you actually recognize, and you say, "Yeah, good job, Jasmine. That's what you get, Mark. You freaking womanizer." And then you hear a couple more girls chiming in behind that. "Yeah, Mark, you get out of here, fucking creep." and you look behind you, and there you see your friend Cordelia Jones, the class president, standing behind you, like her arms are crossed. She's like just got this big laughing grin on her face, and like they're all like mocking him now, calling him a womanizer, a cheater, a scumbag, and Mark just like whatever, you assholes, and he just turns and walks away.
What's wrong, Marky Mark? You gonna cry?
Like I'd say you'd be able to hear him saying "fucking bitches" as he's leaving, and like you keep catcalling after him, calling him a coward and shit, and like the lunchroom starts to laugh a little bit. I'd like from you a leadership check.
Oh, Jesus. I'm proficient in leadership. I forgot I got that.
There you go.
Oh, shit. 22.
Wow. Yeah, Cordelia comes walking up to you, and she's just laughing her ass off. And as she's doing that, I mean, she's the class president, so more students are starting to chime in, laughing at Mark. And there's a lot of chatter now, like the chatter begins rising and rising in the lunchroom, and a lot of laughter, a lot of calling Mark a punk and a coward at this point. And Cordelia, she says, "I don't know what that was about, Jasmine, but that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Good job."
Thanks. You know, he was going around telling people he got jumped, so I guess I had to oblige him. Now we can actually say a friend group is messing with him now.
Oh, that's your friend that he's been talking about?
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah. Mark is a sore loser. He doesn't like it when people show him up. So, good job, Jasmine. And she kind of pats you on the back, and you've gained a social point with Cordelia, and -1 with Mark.
Yeah, well, who needs social points with Mark anyways?
Yeah, fuck that loser.
This is very true. Now, to finish up lunch, Iris, as you're kind of sitting there after that encounter with Bianca, you started listening in and just trying to hear what else is going on. And you caught that whole thing with Jasmine. But you also heard a little bit more being talked about. Like, there's a lot of talk around some kid that disappeared outside of the Rowena Oasis Lounge. You actually spot Yuna Song, who you saw briefly at the cafe. She's over there talking with quite a few of her friends, and you catch a little bit about her saying that she was actually interviewed by Brad and Chad Peterson from Paranormal Seekers TV show. You hear her talking about like, on the one hand, it was kind of cool that she's being interviewed and so many people are giving her attention, but she's also really, really worried about her friend Levi, who was the one who disappeared. Other than that, that's really kind of about it. After you heard that, that's about when Jasmine started her I don't know if I want to call it a fight, but I don't know, definitely something with Mark there. And yeah, so that's kind of about it. But with that, you all go and put your lunch stuff away, and we're up to your PM phase. Now, for PM phase, your 4th period class is Language Arts with Mr. O'Shea. So we're going to be rolling an academic arts roll for this. Just go ahead and call out when you roll.
I got a 19.
That's a success.
14.
14's a failure, but you do have your NPC still if you want to use that.
Sure, I'll roll a d4. So that goes up to a 16.
16 is a success.
I'm gonna
Tilia,
I'm gonna use my D8 for having studied the night before.
go ahead and add a D8.
7, so 16.
16, that is a success.
Yay.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jasmine, that is a failure. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to go to 5th period class now. Mathematics with Mr. Vale. And for this, you're going to be rolling STEM checks.
+4, 17.
Another 16.
21. This is the first day that David has done what I've designed him to do.
Nice. Nice. So, would you say you had, Tilia?
This is the class that I crammed for, so +4
Yes,
is
so-
17.
17, that is a success.
10.
Daryl, I see you got a 16, that's a success. Jasmine, 10, that is a failure. Now, I will remind you, you do have the NPC still, but even a 4 would not be a success, unfortunately.
If it's a D8, right? Oh wait, no, that's the studying.
Do you have the studied ability?
No, I didn't study.
No, you did not. So
Haven't
no.
studied once in my life, actually.
Yeah, so no, unfortunately. You can add a D4 to a roll, but a 14 is still a failure. So we've established.
Yeah, nah. Damn, a 14 is a failure? How hard is the school?
Yeah, it's pretty hard on a pop quiz day. The DC is actually 15. I don't mind telling you. So Iris, you rolled an Arcana check.
It's just intelligence.
Okay. So that's a 15, which is a success. Now, Daryl, the gods seem to be looking down on you with favor right now, and you do have a reroll for today.
Sweet.
Now,
Got
your final class of the day, 6th period, is computers with Mrs. St. Cloud. And as you're all walking in there, Tilia, Mrs. St. Cloud calls you over and she says, Tilia, I just wanted to check in on you. I hope having that disc has served you well, being a friend of Sarah's and all.
I actually figured out what it was that she was planning on doing with it, so I ended up finishing what she had tried to start. So that was nice.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm really glad to know that. I hope that brings you some small comfort.
It does. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Yeah. So for this class, it's either STEM or investigation.
Well,
12 is a failure, unfortunately.
All these 20 pluses and nothing to show for it, because none of them have been crits.
Is it
Hey,
STEM or
but
investigation?
still a success. Yep,
15.
15's a success.
Okay.
I'm using my studied.
Use that studied.
It's
Another
rolling, I
10.
guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jasmine, that is a 3rd failure for you.
His just rolling the dice. I don't know what my total is yet.
Still not rolling?
Yeah, it just says rolling the dice, and it's not like dropping the result. It's thinking real hard. Oh, there it is. It's a 4.
There it is.
Alright, so plus my 12, that's a solid 16.
16 is a success.
Alright.
So Jasmine, Loop Bunny's saying that you're probably feeling a little too guilty about what you did to Mark to do well in class.
No,
she's
not even a little
playing
bit.
it in her head.
Yeah,
She's
too
too proud. She's
entertaining.
feeling too proud.
Yeah, she's too jazzed about just
Concentrate.
slaying.
Listen, I understand that in most anime I should feel bad. It's just that Jasmine does it.
It's like those basketball video
that's
games
valid.
where you get a dunk and then it does a replay and you like smash the backboard.
Yeah, absolutely, and like I said, 100% valid. But yeah, unfortunately, that is 3 failures for you, Jasmine. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and tally up for everybody else. For Jasmine, why is school so hard? You failed so miserably that you feel physically ill. So you're going to gain 2 stress points and an exhaustion point.
The school's gonna send me to an early grave.
Probably. Let's see. Let's start with David. Successes and failures.
Well, that's still a net 3, so nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. Not a damn thing.
I got
but hey,
6. I got 6 over the day. Can I get the thing?
No, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But you do have a bright future ahead of you, so there is that. Tilia, how about you?
1 success.
1 success. Yeah, keep up that positive attitude. You're doing okay, but things could be better. Daryl.
I'd like to thank the Wanderer. I got 3 successes.
Nice. So, a bright future ahead of you as well. The more you think about it, the more you realize your future has a lot of potential. So go ahead and remove 2 stress points.
Well, I only had 1, but I'm finally down to 0 stress.
Nice. Not as stressed out, just fucking exhausted.
Yep.
Okay. Iris, how about you?
Net 1.
Net 1. Well, you keep up that positive attitude. You're doing okay, but hey, things could be better. And with that...
Hey guys, I gotta go real quick. I'm sorry. Give me like 5 minutes.
Yeah, actually, we're going to go on break, so no worries. This is the end of the day. The school bell does ring out, and that is where we're going to go ahead and take a break. Because 8:15, perfect time for it. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks, and when we return, we're going to find out what our Magi-Knights are going to do after school is out. So stay tuned.
Well, Daryl's gonna go to detention again.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, the Magi-Knights had just finished their school day. By this point, you're all gathering up your books and whatnot, and Daryl, Mr. O'Shea kind of comes up right behind you and puts a hand on your shoulder in that teacher sort of way and is like, "Ah, there you are, Laddybuck. Are you ready to go and serve your next day of detention?"
So, I totally knew that he was there, but to freak him out, I'm gonna do that thing where I, like, scream really high-pitched like he totally snuck up on me.
I love it. Make a deception check.
Sure. I have a +1. A 20. Dirty 20.
Yeah. Yeah, you scream in that high pitched voice, and the teacher like jumps back a little bit, and he grabs the necklace on his chest, and like he wears those Hawaiian T-shirts underneath his blazer, and which is open, and so of course he has a big gold necklace with a chain with a
Lord.
medallion on it.
He wears heavy cologne too, doesn't he?
Oh,
No.
Mr. O'Shea wears heavy cologne.
No. What have you done to Liam?
Everything that he deserves.
Look, it's okay to me, but I can smell it 2 houses down, and I'm trying to sleep. That's how powerful it is.
But like he does jump back, and he's just like, sorry there, lad. I didn't mean to startle you like that. Wow, you got some pipes on you. But it's time for you to come and go to detention. So come along now.
Alright.
Okay.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah. So Daryl gets dragged away. But for the rest of you, your next day phase is your free time. So let's go ahead and take a look at your free time.
My free time?
We don't have free time anymore.
Wait, we're high school students. Every teacher of every class that we have automatically assumes that their homework should take up an hour of our time after school.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
Which is insane.
Yes.
Yeah, I do agree. As someone with kids, yes, I very much agree. Thought I had a different handout for this.
Free time, phase.
Yes, that stupid every teacher thinks their class is the most important one and that you have no other classes or work to do besides theirs.
I'm just happy in that the high school I ended up going to, it was 5 periods in a day. One of them was a lunch period, and depending on what grade you were in, your lunch period it determined which period your lunch would be. Mm-hmm. So you had 45-minute classes, or not 45, sorry, an hour and a half classes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Luckily, I had a nice teacher my senior year of high school because they wouldn't let me not have the maximum number of classes, even though I needed one less than that to graduate. But luckily, I was able to sign up for a class and then not actually go, and instead I went and got help from my math teacher because otherwise I probably would have failed math again that semester, and they might not have let me graduate.
Okay, so for your free time event, or your free time phase, Daryl, you're unfortunately in detention. So we'll cover that in a second. But for the rest of you, you can use this time to actually do a few things. You can hit up the arcade and heal some stress points and maybe get that rare item that the Wanderer really, really wants out of the claw game. You can go to the mall and look for some cool stuff and get social points. You can go out to eat, and you get the well-fed effect. You can go to the movies, and you can heal stress points and gain social points. You can play sports with a friend and reduce some stress points quite a bit. You can find a moment of catharsis and try to heal up that your soul crystal and try to get some of the it's trauma points. Sorry, it's trauma points that you can get rid of with a moment of catharsis. You can converse with a herald and try to gain an inspiration point and learn more about what you've been currently researching and investigating. You can hang out with a close friend and gain some social points. You could go on a hot date, but I don't think any of you have enough social points to go out on a date with anybody at this point. You have to have 5 with that NPC to go out on a date. But you can do some rest and relaxation and remove stress points and exhaustion points. You can study and complete your homework and gain the studied effect again. You can get some combat training in and gain advantage on your weapon attacks. You can go to your part-time job, which is probably a good idea for some of you if you want to gain some things. Or, Daryl's case, detention.
Yep.
So, Tilia, what are you thinking about wanting to do for your free time?
I mean, the fiber arts craft store that I work at sometimes really isn't all that busy. So I was hoping I'd be able to do my homework in between tending customers, but we'll see.
Well, you can't do both, so you can either do your part-time job and get that effect, or you can study and do your homework.
How dead was it today?
Not saving up for anything, so might as well do my homework.
Okay, so you're going to do your homework. So what happens when you study and complete homework is you gain the studied effect at school that grants you proficiency in the academic arts or STEM during the next student burden, or gain double. Or wait a minute, no, that's
rolling
that
a D8.
changed now. It's 1d8. Yeah, you get a 1d8 with the studied effect. Okay, David, how about you?
David remembers that he has a job, and is gonna go do that.
Okay, what's your job, David?
What we work at Toys R Us. Work the electronics counter.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're heading off to work to do your part-time job, which we'll say, I don't know. Where's the game store? Is it at the mall? Is it a standalone place?
I don't know. It's probably not a pop-up store since it's September.
Yeah, it's the end of August.
Definitely not a pop-up store. They do not exist this early.
No, so standalone store maybe somewhere.
Yeah,
fair enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll a d4 for that and see how your day went.
it went fucking great.
Yeah, it did. You had an awesome day. A customer or manager noticed your stellar work. It's about time. Why'd they take so long to notice how awesome you are? You're going to gain 1 social point and 2 tallies?
Tallies are... I forget exactly the mechanic, but it's like I have earned money.
Buying
Like
stuff.
once you earn a certain number of tallies.
Oh, to buy something. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Whenever you're wanting to buy something significant, which didn't you say you lost your Walkman? It got broken in the fight with David, or with
myself.
Mark.
Yeah,
with
I
yourself.
probably did.
With Mark. I remember you saying that, so you could be saving up for that if you wanted to, and so you got 2 tallies towards whatever it is you're saving up for. But you also gain 1 social point with, and you can really put that anywhere you want, with an NPC that you'd like it to be, or one you made up on your own, or one of your friends, either whatever.
Okay.
Okay, Jasmine, what are you wanting to do for your free time?
I'm also wanting to go to work. Gotta save up for a new car. Mine disappeared under suspicious circumstances. At least that's what the police know.
Yeah, it's probably still sitting on their impound lot right now.
Listen.
So, go ahead and roll your a d4 and let's see how your day went.
I got a 4.
Wow, very nice. So you as well just had a great, awesome day. A customer or manager noticed that you two did some stellar work. So you're going to gain 1 social point with any NPC or player that you want, and you also get 2 tallies towards earning your new car.
If I can get another social point with my favorite student body president.
Maybe she
Sorry,
came in to buy the Pokemans for herself or a little brother or something.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I'm down for it. Okay. Iris, what are you wanting to do for your free time?
I will do the... It doesn't say that there's any pre-requirement to hang out with a close friend. So...
Not really, no.
So I will just hang out with a friend from Trek then that I'm just inventing right now.
Yeah, you absolutely can. So, you go and hang out with that buddy of yours from the track team.
Jim from Jim?
Yeah, Jim from Jim, if you like.
Sure.
Okay. So, go ahead. It can be any location you want. If you have something specific in mind you're wanting to do with them.
Not in particular.
So maybe you just go and hang out at a park and do some a few light sprints and then just hang out together. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Go ahead. You're going to give me either an influence or a persuasion check. The DC for this is 12, but if you succeed, you gain 3 social points. Loot Bunny's asking, has Jim from the gym forgiven you for throwing him out of the car? And actually, I believe we established that you did make up with him, and he was kind of cool with it the next day.
I tried to, at least. I'm really poor with most of my charisma. Good thing influence isn't... Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
Wow.
Last words.
You know what? This is my life. Any skill that I have proficiency with, I always roll garbage.
I'm sorry. I truly am. But yeah, with an 8, you had a good time, but you couldn't get much closer with your friend. But you do at least gain 1 social point with them.
Let me think. Hold up. Wait a minute. No, that wouldn't be enough. Alright, well, my premonition ability failed me because my highest roll was a 6. So yeah, it's just it would just be a total 11. Just 1 shy. If I rolled a 7, I could have changed it for that instead, but no.
That's a shame.
What a shame. What an awful way to die.
Okay. Well, while everyone else is out going to work, doing their homework, or hanging with a friend, Daryl, you're stuck in detention. Man, you really just blew it, didn't you? So here's what you got to do. You have to choose one activity to do. You can either do a pressured study. You're going to be making an academic arts skill check, but if you pass, you get the studied effect. You can do just killing time, where you stare outside your window and dream of everything that's beyond those walls. And that will reduce your stress by 1. You can also try to do a covert conversation with some NPC that happens to be in detention with you. If you do that, you're going to gain a social point with the NPC and reduce stress by 1.
I already found out that they're not going to let me trade in my detention tickets for a 10 speed. So
no, unfortunately
I'm
not.
going to do pressured study.
Okay, I like it. Doing some pressured study, so go ahead and make your
15.
Arcana. Nice. Yeah, so you gained the studied effect for tomorrow. So go ahead and mark that down on your character sheet. Eventually, you are let out of detention. It is the end of your free time phase. It's about 5 o'clock in the evening, so let's go ahead and change out of the school music. Okay. The next phase of the day is your investigation phase. Now, this is the time that all of the Magi-Knights can try to find out more clues about the outsiders or anything else suspicious that's going on in town. Daryl, you're just now leaving the high school. The rest of you, Tilia, you are doing your homework, so you kind of choose where you're doing that. Jasmine and David were at their jobs, and Iris was out at the park with a friend. So each of you are heading away from that at this point. I imagine you can communicate to one another, and even the Wanderer's voice kind of comes in over the communicator, is like, okay, this is your investigation phase, everyone. Is there anything you're wanting to look into about the weirdness that's been going on lately? So, are there any threads that you want to look into more?
Yes. Since I can't do it directly with like the negative connotations, I'm going to attempt to research mythological creatures of incredible beauty.
Okay, that's an interesting subject. Are you wanting to do that at like the library at school? Or are you wanting to go to the public library? Or are you wanting to like? Okay. So you go heading off to the public library, wanting to do some investigation into beautiful mythological creatures.
Yes.
And you find me there. What's up?
Hello.
There is Tilia, looking beautiful and mythological there. Tilia, what are you doing at the library?
Well, I was studying.
Sure. Are you wanting to continue there? Or are you wanting to do something else?
Well, when Daryl walks in, I don't know if he acknowledges that I'm there.
I'll come over and say hi. I'll be like,
okay.
Obviously, I'm here to research mythological creatures of great beauty, for how else could Lacey be anything else but something otherworldly?
Oh, Daryl! Wait, what time is it?
Blah, blah, blah.
So it's about a little after 5, maybe 5:15.
5:15.
What the hell?
Oh. And then I start putting my books away, and I'm like, okay, so, do we know what everyone's doing today?
Investigating things. No, I don't actually know.
Okay.
I came here to do my investigating for the day. You can join me if you'd like, or not.
I'm gonna take out my communicator. Hey guys, what are we gonna be doing? Are we gonna go back to the occult shop and check out that ghost, or what's our next step here?
I was planning on going to the occult shop to research like mirror dimension cross-reference with boring women suddenly becoming attractive.
Okay. The Wanderer, as you mentioned the ghost, the Wanderer chimes in. Tilia, didn't the bookshop owner say that it only appeared on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays?
Oh no.
Oh.
What's
Well,
today?
maybe the owner will know something about what Jasmine's talking about, cause that, yeah, when you put it like that, sounds pretty strange.
Okay. So you're heading over to the bookstore, the occult bookstore owned by Mr. Ray. The two of you, are you wanting to go there as well, Tilia? Okay.
See if his niece
David,
is
how about
there
you?
again.
David or Iris, either or.
Sorry, this one isn't zoomed in. With my eyes screwed up, I'm having a hard time reading.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what else has been going on.
I'll say there. The Ghost Club doesn't know anything about me,
No,
but it's probably too late. They're probably done with their stuff.
probably.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know
Um,
what there is to investigate at the moment. We seem to have kind of done everything. Go home, play video games. I did just get a new one last night.
Right.
I'm looking for clues in Super Smash Bros.
It's very investigative.
Yeah, so during your phase, you can either investigate by tracing down things that you've actually done, or you can just go and do some general research as well. You can check over the happenings in the newspapers, watch the local news. You can make contact with individuals who report strange sightings, or even review all of the previously gathered evidence in order to discern the potential location of something significant, or additional information, such as going to the bookstore. It's really up to you. It's this is the time that you can either just try to go fishing and see what you find. If you have some idea specifically you want to look into, this is the time to do it too. But David, if you just want to go home and play video games and not do anything else, you're certainly welcome to.
Go to the town's local cologne club and talk to
No, that sounds awful.
the teacher.
That sounds doubly awful. I think I will pass.
Well,
You don't
their
want to
last
come to the occult
chance
shop
to
with
find
us?
Lacey.
No, I'm good.
Oh, Mr. Liam, what brings you to the Cologne Club? I didn't know you were a member.
Well, Iris, last but not least, is there anything in particular you're wanting to do for your investigation phase?
Alright, so this is a long shot.
But
I'm gonna summon the Wanderer in front of a mirror.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if he knows anything about the mirrors, and if there's anything if he knows anything about them, and how I might be able to do what the bad guys keep doing, and mirroring in and out.
Okay. So are you just going home to do that? Are you wanting to go anywhere particular?
the local carnival, the House of Mirrors.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is such a thing. I was just joking, but
That'd be pretty trippy.
That would be kind of funny.
I do like that. I was gonna say just go home, but now that you bring it up, that sounds pretty
it sounds
wacky.
highly appropriate.
Yeah, just go to like a mirror room and discuss mirror dimensions with a talking cat with wings.
Yeah. I dig it. Okay. So Hell, you could even go to like a clothing store or something. But yeah, let's say there's a carnival in town. One of those affairs that typically gets put into a church parking lot, and most of the stuff is rickety as hell and seems really suspect. But probably the mirror maze is safe.
Probably.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and say that, David, you just kind of thrown your hands up in the air and heading home to play some video games. What game are you playing?
I completely forget the name of the one that I said that I picked up from Blockbuster. It was something really esoteric, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either, to be honest.
Panzer Dragoon or something like that.
Well, sure. So you head home, you get on your gaming device, you sit down, and you just chill and play some video games. And it's probably a little de-stressing if you had any stress, but you spend the next few hours, at least until it gets dark, in your room by yourself playing video games. Iris, you get to the... Oh, Daryl, did I ask you what you were doing?
I believe you did. I said
He was
that
in the
I
library.
was in the public library.
Oh, library, that's right. Yeah. Jasmine, what are you doing? You're going with Tilia, correct?
Yeah,
That's right.
occult
Okay.
library thing.
I remember now. Sorry. I apologize. Okay. Cool. Well, at Ray's Occult and Used Bookstore, you arrived there probably around 5:30, getting on 6, and there is Mr. Ray sitting behind his counter, reading a newspaper and smoking on a cigar. And as the two of you step into the bookstore, he looks up and is like, "Oh, it's you guys again. Or you gals. What the heck did you do in front of my shop?"
People just keep accusing us of stuff.
I don't remember doing so. Like, I fully caused a car crash, but like not here.
That's just what you say out
No.
loud.
Yeah.
Is that what you say out loud? Like, what the?
If the police ask, don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear anything. No, you all said that you were going to be investigating in front of my shop, and he's pointing at you, Jasmine, because it was actually you were one of them who was saying you're going to do that. You told him to like lock up and head home early, and you were going to investigate in front of the shop. Do you remember that?
Oh, did we never tell you what was going on?
No, you never came back and told me. You said you were going to be doing that, and I locked up early for you all, and I haven't seen you since.
Forgot that
When
part.
when I got home, when I got to the shop the next morning, there's this big old scorch mark in front of my shop on the front walkway.
Have you seen the ghost?
No, I haven't seen the ghost since then. Just a big old scorch mark, as though something like a firework or something exploded.
Oh yeah, we killed it.
Forest.
Oh. Sounds like
What's that, Tilia?
We were in the forest. We didn't make it to the shop that night.
I guess we might have killed the right thing then. Or something dragged him to hell.
Dragged him to hell. What have you kids been up to?
I don't know what
Spooky
she's
attack
talking
death.
about.
I'm a witch.
Go. What's that?
Are you a good witch
Happy-
or a bad witch?
Which is it?
Which is witch?
So, Jasmine, since you've been here a few times, and you actually are one of the people who saw the video of the ghost the very first time, go ahead and give me either an insight check or a mysticism check.
do. Jasmine.
Oh, wait, me? Oh, I don't know why I thought for a second he was talking about somebody else. Give me 1 second. Blah.
Yeah, sorry, Jasmine. I was asking you for an insight or a mysticism check.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense. I forgot for a second.
And also, my mic was muted, so I was like saying, "Hey, hey!"
Strong 9, a strong.
Strong 9, like
no clue what's going on.
There's something in the back of your mind, and you're trying to piece 2 and 2 together, and your mind keeps going back to that video that you saw of the kid. It was only for a brief second that you saw him on the video, the Ghost Hunters, or the Paranormal Seekers video, but you did get a look at him. And then you did see the ghost of that kid in the forest. And you're kind of putting 2 and 2 together, and although you're not quite sure what the hell caused the big black smear of whatever the heck it was on the front walk of the bookstore, you're relatively sure that the kid that you saw in the forest that night, who said you had released him, is the same kid you saw in the video.
Oh, yeah. She just looks over to the other 2 people. She's like, oh, yeah, we did release that kid. Yep.
And we were in the forest.
Yeah, his soul is free. And I guess that meant he burnt the place where he was haunting. Not much we could do about that part.
Huh?
You just say that 100% casually.
Yeah.
It's Jasmine. Of course she
right.
says it 100% casual.
Yeah, but
I don't know if
he does
Go ahead.
everything casually except driving.
Oh, that's definitely casual in its own way.
Yeah, very casual for me. It's just not casual for anyone else on the road.
Casually and with neglect are 2 separate things.
Not if you're doing it correctly. I think she's looking like, I don't know. Did you get the ghost to pay a deposit on where it was renting?
Oh my gosh.
The store owner is looking at you really confused, like, what the heck are you talking about? Oh, that reminds me. Where's that Daryl kid friend of yours that's supposed to be working? Supposed to be working the last couple days, and he hasn't shown up once.
Detention?
He has detention.
Detention?
Yeah, he kicked a kid.
Isn't this your first week of school?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeez. Things have changed since I went there. That's for sure. He kind of shakes his head and is like, well, what can I do for you? Why are you here?
Actually, we were wondering, so I've heard that, mirrors can be sort of dangerous and make portals or something, but the stuff that I've read seems to say that, it's when there are 2 or more mirrors facing each other that it creates kind of like a portal or something. But is there any other kind of stuff that mirrors can do? Can people disappear into a mirror? Or a reflective surface? Is anything reflected in a mirror?
There's a lot of beliefs around magic magical studies around mirrors over the years. There's a lot on the subject. I do have a few books over there on the shelves, and if you're looking for something in particular, you might want to start there. And he kind of walks over and points you at a one section of the occult bookstore on like divination and occult practices, and there's a few books, and a few of them actually do list mirrors. So go ahead. I assume the two of you are working together on this. One of you give me an investigation check with advantage.
What's your investigation?
+4.
Same.
So 14.
Okay. You do find one book. It's kind of thick. It's a paperback, but it says Mirrors in the Occult. Mirrors and the Occult. And you pick it up, and you kind of begin skimming the surfaces a little bit. And to paraphrase, it tells you that basically since ancient times, mirrors, as well as all smooth or reflective surfaces, have been used for divination magic. They have also been greatly feared for their power to steal the soul. In recent times, mirrors have also been used as tools in psychic development to increase clairvoyance and gain knowledge of so-called past lives. Divination with mirrors is called crystalmancy or kleptomancy or scrying, and it's something that people who practice Wicca and the occult and different places like that in their rituals and things of that nature. It does have a few like really esoteric concepts, like for example, it does speak of mirrors being portals to other realms, and spirits in these realms sometimes being able to influence or affect those that are looking into mirrors. So it does caution that that the use of mirrors should be done very, very carefully and with the greatest preparation ahead beforehand. But other than that, with your 14, you don't get a whole lot of more information on the subject. But you do spend probably a good hour or so kind of sitting in the bookstore flicking through this book, the two of you. Now, while that's happening, Daryl,
Yes.
you're at the library and you wanted to research like gorgeous mythological creatures.
Yes.
Is there anything more beyond that you're researching, or is just that?
Just that whole idea of like being so gorgeous that they entrance men.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sure. 15.
Okay. So with your 15, you're picking through books, going from like Greek and Roman mythology, little bit of fantasy and things like that. And there are a lot of very beautifully described mythical creatures in these books. You see things from like unicorns and mermaids and fairies and wood nymphs and things like that, to the more complicated and convoluted monsters such as the Lamia or the Sphinx, creatures like that. One of the things that do pop up is something that you've thought about quite a bit, like sirens and vampires and creatures like that. And some of them do have abilities that ensnare men's minds or dominate their thoughts. But Then you also start researching into things that are a lot darker and a lot more creepy and mysterious. Creatures that aren't beautiful on the outside, but manifest themselves in ways that draw people to them. You start reading things about creatures that feed off of lust or desire, things like succubi, and you also start finding some kind of outlandish books that suggest that mythologies in of the world, while obviously stories and things like that, also could be rooted in truth. And that while the depictions of these creatures throughout history may have been obviously exaggerated by their authors, there are some key themes that seem to be flowing. Creatures that absorb energy or take energy away from people and use that to empower themselves or empower the abilities that they're trying to do or their spells they're trying to do. And a lot of times that creatures like that feed on these things also tend to use other subjects as hosts or as
slaves,
as sources that they feed off of them for some time before to collect energy before they do their big grand things. So that's what you're able to glean from the library with the 15. Cool. Okay. Are we forgetting anyone else? Iris!
Mm-hmm.
What you got going on?
I am now in the Hall of Mirrors. With the cat person thing, magic. Yeah.
So heading into the Hall of Mirrors, they're not great, you know. It's one of those traveling carnival types, and they're still setting up, but they're allowing people to go into and use the rides or the things that are actually built and ready to go. So there's a bit of a crowd, but the Hall of Mirrors isn't really messed with a whole lot. There's not a lot of people there, so you go and you kind of go through it and you find one little corner where it's like, you know, when you go through a maze and you get a stop point, you can't go any farther. You get to one of those, and then you call the Wanderer, and the Wanderer does appear there in front of you. And he looks up and he kind of glances back and looks at himself in the mirror. And you can't actually see the cat with wings there in the mirror, but there is a slight distortion around him. As though he's there, but he's also not there.
Interesting.
And he says, well, Jeff, this is Iris, this is a really... Yeah, Iris, sorry. Iris, this is a really cool place. I like all the mirrors. What are we doing here?
So I've noticed that a lot of the bad guys, so to speak, have been able to go from place to place using mirrors. And I was wondering if there wasn't some way we could crack into that place that they keep going to whenever they use the mirrors.
Go ahead and give for me a mysticism check.
All right. It's a solid 9.
Okay.
I can't get
with your 9
than a 10 with my mysticism. I'm cursed.
Yeah.
I let him use my
reroll. That is a shame.
Sure, I'll allow it. If you want to give up your reroll,
yes,
go ahead and roll once more.
Reroll, sir.
All right. We'll see. Does this break the curse? No, I get a 9 again.
No.
The gods seem to have spoken. The Wanderer ponders this this query for a little bit, and he tells you, I have seen the places that you all pointed out, Daryl, and you pointed out the mirror and that pool of water in front of the cafe. I looked around that too. I can definitely sense the energy of the spectral outsiders faintly over it. It seems like they're using these mirrored surfaces, mirrors, anything reflective, as portals, as gateways from one place to another. You're right about that, Iris. But unfortunately, I don't have the kind of power that would allow me or anyone else to do that, I'm afraid. To use that kind of ability requires a large amount of power, much more than any one of us could generate on our own. Whatever's doing this has to be something of pretty significant power. I think you might be onto whatever spectral outsider is currently invading our town.
All right. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I wish I could help out more, Iris. I really do, but unfortunately, I don't have the power to transport people.
It's all right. It was worth a shot.
Yeah. The Wanderer even kind of reaches out with a paw and kind of bats at the mirror a little bit, like trying to see if he can push his way through, but it's just a mirror to him. He doesn't leave paw prints, though.
Curious.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your investigation?
I can't think of anything else. That was kind of my best shot.
Okay. Well.
Wait.
Yep.
I need to go to a mirror that actually has been connected. I'll worry about that later.
All I'm hearing is that we just need to do that thing from the Power Rangers movie where they all stand in a circle and use their combined might to revive Zordon.
Yeah!
I mean, he said he didn't have enough power on his own, so clearly that means he needs help from us.
Yeah.
Power, friendship, and all that.
We'll gather around in a circle, then kumbaya or some such nonsense.
I mean, you can always try. But you start heading out away from the carnival. Maybe you stop and do a game or two. I don't know. But as for the rest of you, Tilia, Jasmine, at the bookstore, are you wanting to pursue anything else there?
If I was at the carnival, I'd pursue some funnel cake.
No.
Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah, I don't really have any. What?
Okay.
I'll kind of just go over the
Okay.
communicator and be like, "Hey, how's everyone going? We didn't really find much here."
I'm finding some dark stuff, man. Like ladies who suck out your energy type stuff.
Sounds pretty metal.
Is that what they meant when I heard a guy say a girl sucked out his soul?
No, that means she was giving oral sex very well.
Oh. Gotcha.
And everyone just has an awkward pause over the communicators.
Thanks for that. Needed that comment in my life.
Okay. As you're all kind of just sitting there awkward now, most of you separated from one another. You do hear the voice of the Wanderer over the communicator, who's mentioning, well, if it's getting kind of late, and you all look up, and it is about 8 o'clock in the evening. You have enough time to gather up once again and go out on patrol, because that's coming up here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and move into our patrol phase.
I don't know that we know anywhere in particular to patrol. I think that we've proven that our ghostly friend at the bookstore's no longer ghostly.
Mm-hmm. You have figured that out. You've also kind of hit a dead end when it comes to mirrors.
I mean, if you mention the mirror idea to me, I know where a mirror was that, was used, though.
Yeah?
But you would have to mention it to me. Unless you already did mention what you were researching to us.
We'll say that I went and asked the Wanderer about mirrors and didn't learn much more than we already knew.
I mean, you know that there was that mirror at the hospital that sucked that kid in, right?
I do remember that. But I think I'll wait for a fresher mirror.
Why?
Because I don't know, it seems like it's a very instantaneous, very there and gone kind of a thing.
I don't know.
I will remind you all that you were standing right there when Levi Parker jumped into the pool and disappeared.
Yep.
You immediately tried to go in after him, and you even attempted to sense and use mysticism to reopen it. And although you found a tiny bit of residual energy, basically it was an open and closed kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just worked on him and nothing else.
Maybe we need more power. Maybe it didn't have enough charge of battery or something. Can we combine our energy somehow?
Here's what I'm thinking.
Form the Magi-Zord.
The Magi-Zord. I don't think that we'll be able to go through it, but I'm curious if we can track where the door opened to. But I think we will need a fresher gate for that to work properly.
I mean, I think the pool is probably the freshest one we know about, right?
Yeah, the pool of oil.
Yeah.
That's a day old at this point.
We gotta work with what we got.
Well, should we?
That is another. I will remind you that you attempted the same thing when he jumped through the oil, and you weren't able to open it or anything like that then either.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not trying to open it. I'm trying to see if there's a way to track where it opened to.
Gotcha.
So should we split up and hit both of them? The one at the kitschy tiki diner and the oil pool, or?
Yeah, sure. I'll go to the oil pool.
Completely ignoring the entire.
I'll go to the tiki diner.
Go to the oil pool, I guess.
Yeah, I'll head over to oil too.
Folks.
Okay, so I heard David, I heard Tilia, and Iris, did you say you're going to the oil? Okay. So the three of you are heading to the oil while Daryl and Jasmine heads to the tiki bar.
Yes.
Okay. So your groups all split up. You have to meet up with the various people, and this does take about an hour or so traveling throughout the city. It is getting quite dark now. The city tends to close down around 9-10 o'clock every night. And after that point, everyone pretty much heads home and stays indoors afterwards. Very few places are actually open after 10 o'clock at
Boring.
night. And as you're all making your way to your destinations, there's an odd eeriness to the quiet. You all make it to your destinations with zero difficulty. The Blockbuster Video is actually open till 11 o'clock, so you do see it open. You can walk.
My my pen that has my crystal on it, just so I can see if it lights up. I also have my flashlight for once it gets dark.
Yeah, well, it's dark right now, so you probably have your flashlight on. Because in the area, like, the Blockbuster Video is very well lit up, but the street on the other side, where the ravine is very dark. And actually, you did, I believe I mentioned last session that some of the street lights around were actually broken, purposely to make it darker. Now you have your pen out and you're holding it up. It does not begin to glow at all. However, you do get to the parking lot of the Blockbuster Video. It's lit up like it was the last night. You do see the same kid behind the counter, but other than his car, there's no other cars in the parking lot. Like, that last hour is just him straightening up and tilling the register and then heading home. So nothing really going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
You walk down to the ravine. There is a little bit of a gradient descent that allows you to scoot your way down without much difficulty. You continue to walk along the ravine. It is very, very dark there. You do see the bits of trash, the empty barrels, random, traffic cones, and half of a washing machine down there. And there's also the bridge. There is a bridge that goes over the ravine to the other side. But it is very dark and very empty, other than your average debris.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go and walk underneath the bridge, past where that cultist had been hiding for half the battle. He would just pop out of the bridge, take a couple shots, duck back in, and hide in the darkness while you were fighting the rest of his troop. And your minds all kind of go back to that battle as you're doing that. You eventually do come to the pool of oil. It's just a small little oil slick. It's maybe about 4 feet across, and it's like just barely glistening on the wet dirt that's down there.
Shine my flashlight on it.
Okay, you can shine your flashlight on it, and it does have that reflective surface and does shine a bit of the light back, but it is an oil slick, so it's not all the light that comes back. Mm-hmm. About the same time, David and Jasmine, the two of you make it to the front of the cafe, the Rowena Oasis. And you see that cheap little tiki setup with a concrete pool surrounded by plastic rocks and big old plastic palm trees over it. And, it's crappy and kind of tacky, but it's there, and it's fairly calm and still. So, my question to you all is, what exactly are you wanting to do now that you're here?
I think Jasmine's gonna kneel down to the pool, like, this is what they do in the TV shows, I guess. And try to like focus on like the energy that went through the pool and where and like anywhere else it might open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you hold onto your soul crystal, focusing downward towards the pool. Go ahead and give me a mysticism check. With advantage, because David is there with you, I imagine he's probably trying to do the same thing.
I think
Yes,
Daryl is with Jasmine.
Yeah.
At the tea
I'll say-
party.
I'll take the
sorry,
nat-
Daryl
I'll
is
take
with
the
Jasmine.
23
Sorry.
with a natural 20 over the 4.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
sorry,
God, nat
Daryl
20
is with
and nat
Jasmine.
1.
That's crazy.
Duality.
Nat 20 and nat
Duality. Bestie duality.
You focus with your soul crystal, reaching out. And with a nat 20, it's barely there. But you can feel just a slight ripple of energy coming off of that pool. It's faint. It's the only reason it's there is because it was once used. But you can feel it.
Am I able?
Telia, David, and Iris, the three of you, are you doing the same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mysticism with an advantage between the three of you.
Alright. I've got a +4 to mysticism. Does anybody have a higher?
I've got 5.
Then you roll with advantage.
Okay.
I roll garbage.
I rolled also a little bit garbage.
That's okay, that's still higher than I would have gotten.
14.
Okay. Jasmine, with your nat 20, you're sensing that mysticism, that mystical energy that seems to be swirling around that pool. It's faint, but somewhere in the distance, at another point in the town, you know that your friends are out there as well, each one of them clutching their soul crystals, focusing at that pool a fair distance away. But there's always a connection. There's always a little bit of that faint trace of energy. And you feel that connection, an almost line going from one point to the other point. But both of those points moving somewhere else. Your eyes all close. Your group is in tune, in sync with one another. A slight faint glow begins to emanate from your crystals as all of you hold them. You can see in your mind's eye each one of your friends. And at the same time, you also trace this invisible line as it converges, as it moves past, as it reaches out there somewhere in the distance. And you see in your mind's eye a small vision. You see... Is it a room at first? No. Darker than that. Concrete walls, bare. Slightly rough in places, as though poured down as a wall and left unfinished. You see a few beams going down, structural things, holding up metal bars. You see a clothes hanger going from one pole to another with a few with the clip thingies, clothespins sticking on it, and maybe a blouse hanging from it. Past beyond that, you can see what looks like a washer, maybe a dryer behind that as well. It's hard to tell. The space you're looking through is narrow, side to side, but long up and down, almost as though it were a freestanding mirror. Make for me each group, or actually, I'm going to change my mind. I want all of you together, even though you're separate, to make for me a group perception check.
Mm-hmm.
So what all of you are going to do is you're going to roll a d4. Those of you who have proficiency get to add that as well.
For perception?
For perception.
So just the proficiency bonus?
Yeah, just the proficiency bonus plus the d4.
Total
Not-
of 4 for me then.
Not the stat bonus, just the proficiency bonus.
Yes, 2 plus 2.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 2.
3!
I got a 5.
5.
6.
14.
Show off.
So what is your total?
So let's see, so we got
6, 10,
14.
23.
Okay. The DC, I'm just going to tell you, to see everything that you could see, was a 20.
Mm.
You see, in the distance, slumped up against the wall, past the washers and dryers, several figures. 4 of them, in fact. At first, you think maybe it's just a duffel bag or a hamper filled with clothes. But as you look closer, you realize it's 4 slumped forms. People. Short hair. Possibly boys. Based on the broadness of the shoulders. Some musculature forms, but they're far enough away that you can't get perfect looks on them. You can't see their defining features. But you're fairly certain there's at least 4 people slumped there, heads down. One of them has really short hair, almost as though it's shaved really close to the scalp. The other 3 have longer hair, but in the darkness, because it is pitch black there, you can see a little bit of a faint mystical aura about, so you're able to see a few defining features, but not a lot. But you can definitely tell a couple shaggy hair, one kind of a high top, and one cut really super short. And then you feel something else, almost a severing. And I need every single one of you, to roll to resist magic.
Again?
Oh my god, where's all my character sheet again?
It's, you roll like the saving
It's-
throw for whatever stat you have, you use spellcast with.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's your spellcasting modifier.
And then a d20, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
So I
d20 plus spellcasting modifier.
I got 20.
I got a natural 1.
I don't know what my. Hang on.
I got a 19.
Okay. We missing anybody?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to figure out my thingy.
Got it. Well,
Intelligence. Okay.
David, that's a success. Iris,
Oh.
that's a failure. Daryl, that's a failure.
Not one.
Jasmine, that's a success. Tilia, that's a failure. Obviously. Imagine those of you who failed as though you're holding something in your hand, and then someone cuts along and cuts off your arm. It's like a blade slashed through an umbilical cord of your mind, and each one of you scream in pain as you are viciously slashed through your psyche. You each take 15 points of magical damage.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be more than my HP there, Chief.
In that moment, those of you who go unconscious, who die, you hear that shatter as your crystal takes a fracture. You fall backwards as your friends look on in horror as each one of you fall down to the ground. However, you also hear that familiar voice of the wanderer. As you're falling back, the world seems to freeze in place. And you hear his comforting voice say, "This doesn't have to be the end. Whatever it is that attacked you knows that you are looking. But you can come back from this. And you do know that you would take another fracture of your soul crystal. But it would allow you to stay alive. Do you choose to do so?"
I mean, those have been healing pretty easily, right?
They do.
Sure.
Tilia?
I'm still up.
You're still up? Okay, good. Jasmine, did you survive that?
Yep.
Okay, good. So it's just Daryl that went unconscious, or went down.
Oh,
But you... times... Yep, go ahead.
I was like, I thought I passed it, so I don't know if we took half damage.
Those of you who passed it didn't take any damage. It's only those of you who failed.
That would be Daryl, me, and Iris.
Daryl, you, and Iris. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought Jasmine. Sorry, my bad. No, you're right. My bad. I'm looking at it now. But Iris, are you still up?
I am still up.
Okay. So Daryl falls to the ground as time begins to move fast once again. You hit your head and ow, that fucking hurts. But you do have 1 HP and 2 fractures of your soul crystal. The rest of you, your vision's all clear as well. Your minds snap back. You all, every single one of you, have a headache now. Those of you who took the psychic damage, you probably have a bit of a nosebleed right now. And you definitely have a migraine.
Pull out my first aid kit and give both me and Iris some ibuprofen.
Thank you.
That'll fix it.
But the rest of you all kind of look to one another. Those of you who are at the oil slick, you all exchange glances. Those of you who are at the pool do the same.
Thinking in
David,
my head. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
no, I think that's still intact. David looks back over to the other two. He's still got like his crystal in his hand, focusing on this pool. Are you guys good?
Shaky, but okay.
No, but I'll continue anyways.
I mean, we can stop. We can do this later. I think, maybe. Or we can...
Did anybody
Well-
recognize that basement? That room?
No, I didn't. I don't know it.
Pat, did
So-
anybody recognize that basement?
So yeah, I was getting ready to say I'm trying to decide what skill to have y'all roll.
So let's go over it. So there was like a washer and a dryer there, like
Investigation,
that's
maybe?
fancy.
Using context clues?
I'm gonna allow an investigation check. I think that would probably be your best bet. I was thinking insight, but insight's wisdom as well. So
Okay.
Well, investigation's intelligence.
and it's intelligence or wisdom. It can be either or in this system.
Oh, sorry.
It can?
So I got a 13.
Everybody can make this roll, by the way.
14.
11.
19.
16. Not terrible.
Iris, you rolled you rolled pretty high.
Dasani rolled
rolled
highest.
highest.
Jasmine rolled. I was getting ready to. Jasmine, you rolled the highest.
I love when they go to bat for me.
Yeah, I mean, don't even let me finish my sentence.
No, of course not.
I was trying to say, Iris, you did pretty good. Jasmine, you did great. But as you're all sitting there thinking to yourself, going through every place you've ever been in your life, and you all have. You've had friends throughout the years, those of you who've lived in this area. You've been in the school basement. You've been to the library's basement. You've been to a handful of other places. It does not look like any place any of you have ever been. However, Jasmine, with the 19, you especially would be able to piece this together. The vision you saw wasn't of a public place. It definitely looked as though it was the basement of somebody's house.
So we know it's a residential area.
Definitely a residential area. Definitely someone's basement. One you've never been into before, but unfortunately, it's a big city. There's a good 50,000 people that live here, so you've never been to every single basement out there.
No, but if
And some of you have. What's
if
that?
Lacey's an actual person, then she's got to have an address.
I was
We did
thinking
walk
just the
her
same
home.
thing.
Well, so I think maybe we can go there from here. I don't think we need to. And David's gonna kind of look at the two with him, once again looking for kind of confirmation on if they're good and ready to continue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to. No, I'd have to transform into my Magi-Knight to be able to do it.
I think you and I are on the same page, actually.
Yeah.
David is going to kind of kneel down, take his crystal, and thrust it into this pool of oil. Kind of
Okay,
speaking half to the crystal and half to himself, like, okay, you're supposed to find these outsiders. You're supposed to take us to them. We need to do that right now. And he's going to focus on this tiny thread that we've got through this pool. And he's going to try and force it open in much the same way that you can force a transformation. So, like...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I dig it. Give me a mysticism check.
Only a 13. I am willing to take fractures to make this work.
Well, here's the thing. You stick your soul crystal in there. You focus your power. You're willing it. You're like, if I have to break this crystal, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this open. And then you feel with your magical power that's innate in your body. And that thread that you felt is gone. It was clearly severed. And the whiplash that you felt, that blast of psychic energy that hit you all, it was almost like, you know when you stretch a rubber band really, really far and then it snaps and those pieces snap back and hit you? You realize that's what happened. But the connection that was between that spot and wherever it emptied out into is no longer there.
I mean, Lacey seems to be at the middle of all this. Should we just go check her house?
Sounds good.
That is the most logical thing, but where does she live?
I mean, that's kind of breaking and entering. Well, this is the mid-90s.
Entering. I'm just saying, like, knock on her door, ask if she's okay, you know, like...
And then we'll let Jasmine do something.
Yeah. I was saying, this is the mid-90s, so, like, school directories with lots of personal information are still totally a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, didn't you walk her home?
No, she walked me home.
Ah.
Oh yeah, her boyfriend did beat you up.
Other way around.
One of her boyfriends.
Alright. I guess.
The school directory.
Yeah,
point is, it should not be difficult to find her.
Shouldn't it there, though? That's a good question, because, you all kind of stand there blankly looking at one another, and no one knows where Lacey lives. You've never been to her house before. You've never really... Those of you who've been to this school, like, she's only a sophomore, so you've never had any real interactions with her other than this past week when she's popped up a few times.
Alright. Some of you check the school directory, I'll check the phone book.
But here's another thing that I'm going to go ahead and say, because here's the next thing that happens. Those of you who are at the oil slick and have been sitting there, like David's on his knees, he has his soul crystal in the oil, which is like barely an eighth of an inch thick. It's not big at all. You hear laughter. And you all look around, confused. Make perception checks, the three of you.
Oh, shoot. No!
Tilia.
Ooh.
And
21.
David. Yeah. You both look towards the sound that you're hearing, and it's actually up to that overhead bridge, the bridge that goes over the ravine that you're currently at. You both look up and you see there's a hooded individual standing at the top of it, kind of leaning over the railing, looking down at you. His form is illuminated by one of the handful of street lights that aren't broken. And you can tell that he's wearing a dark brown leather jacket and a hoodie underneath it that's pulled up over his head, partially obscuring his face. But his face is clear. It's you can see the distinct features of a man, clean shaven, with kind of wide eyes of a color it's hard to make out here in the darkness. But he's laughing down at you, and he says, "Having trouble there, Magi-Knights?"
Hey, we're the Nighty Knights. Get it right.
Yeah. That's not our name. How dare you?
No.
He laughs again,
He's obviously evil.
and he turns, and he begins walking away across the bridge.
Shoot that fool.
Okay,
Uh,
I
Shoot him
transform.
in the face.
Well, that's the thing.
You can't.
You hold your soul crystal, and you're about ready to transform. But as you're getting ready to say those words, you look at your crystal, and it is not glowing.
I chase after him.
Yeah. Fine.
Now, I will remind you, you can force a transformation. So you do have that option. It will fracture your soul crystal twice to do so.
Let's just
But
go
you-
on feet.
Let's just pull out a gun.
Fair enough. Okay, so we got a few minutes left, so we'll see whether or not we're able to resolve this session. But what's going to happen now is we're going into a chase. Because the moment you kind of yell out and start running to try to get up the ravine and catch up, which I remind you, it's a ravine. So you're going to have to run around to the gradient to get back up, and then you're going to have to come around to get to the bridge where he's currently running.
Good thing we have the captain of the track team with us.
Yes, we absolutely do, and that's exactly what's about to happen here. So, here's how this is going to work. Had to switch the music one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's how this is going to work. The three of you are working together, all running at your own pace to try to catch up with this individual. So I want all three of you to roll for initiative for me, just to see who's going first.
I cannot roll
You
anything.
did. Oh no, you rolled a 7. Oh god.
Yeah, I rolled a 20, which does not make any sense. But
That's actually really funny.
yeah,
This is my life. It's not a terrible life, honestly.
Okay, so David, you got a 20. Iris, you got a 7.
Yep.
And Tilia, you got an 18. Very nice. So, to start things off here, David, I need you to roll me a d12, please.
four.
Okay, 4. So as you're running up the gradient, you notice that one of those big oil barrels that's half buried in the dirt is right there in your path. It's in your way. I'm going to need you to make an athletics check to either jump over it or to strafe around it.
Okay. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. A natural 20. Why is David fast and skilled?
For some reason today, David is super fast and just bolts ahead with a natural 20. That's 2 successes. Very well done. Tilia, roll me a d12.
Oh boy. Four.
4 again. You're right behind David, running as fast as you can. You see him literally jump as hard as he can and land on the other side of that barrel and keep going. It's in your way as well, so give me an athletics check.
$19.
19. You do the same thing. You're a track star. You're used to jumping over those hurdles, and you make that hurdle jump with ease,
No, I'm not.
landing on the far side.
I'm not on the track team.
I thought you were on the track team.
Iris is on the track team.
Iris is on the
the
track
captain.
team. God damn.
Julia has
I'm not remembering everything
no.
today.
No.
My bad. Fine, whatever. I suck today.
That's alright.
So sorry I can't remember all your backstories for this mini-series event. No, I'm just fucking around. Iris, your turn now. Give me that d12.
That's a solid 3.
Same fucking thing is in front of you. Why are you all rolling the same thing on the d12? But yeah, a 3 is also an athletics check, so that barrel's in front of you as well.
Are you guys ready for the one failure so far?
Nope. Because it ain't gonna...
Come on, track captain.
12.
12 is exactly the DC.
Beautiful.
It's not too difficult. Yes, you jump and you're feeling a little bad because David and Tilia both made it without a problem. Your heel hits the back of it and you stumble a little bit, but you're still made it over and you're running behind. So basically we're at exactly where it is. David with 2 successes, way far in the lead, followed up by Tilia and Iris, keeping fair pace with one another. David, another d12.
Five
5, much better.
barrels.
Okay. Yeah, you come running around the edge. You've gotten to the top of the ravine. You're running full tilt. You're gaining on this guy. It's almost as if he's more skip running than anything else. Almost like taunting you to catch him. There in front of you is a bunch of those stupid cones that they put out to block off road construction. You're going to have to get yourself around them, so I'm going to need a coordination check from you.
A 5 again.
Ouch. 5 is a failure. While you manage to get a really good pace and running really fast, hitting those cones and you're trying to wiggle your way around them while running, you trip over one of them, stumble, and land on the ground. That's 1 failure for you. So you got 2 successes, 1 failure. Tilia, d12.
Say now we're all even. It's time for you to catch up.
Yeah, well, you're coming up on those same damn cones, but you're like, no, I managed to get over that first one. I'm going to try to jump this. Give me an athletics check again.
There is the extra obstacle of David in the way.
Not 1, baby.
Yeah, sure enough there is, and you jump just as David is starting to push himself up to his feet, and your toe actually catches his hoodie, and you just face plant into the ground. That's a failure for you as well.
Jeez.
Okay, Iris, d12 roll.
A
You
7.
better.
Okay, 7. Yeah, as you're running, you see, you basically run around the cones trying to make up time while the two of them are picking themselves up. Unfortunately, like in that moment, you just see a hobo starting to climb up out from his little hobo box on the side of the road, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's in my way. I need you to make an influence or persuasion check to try to get around this guy.
What?
I'll buy you some liquor if you'll just move
13.
quicker.
Yeah, so it literally says in the obstacle can be overcome with verbal or social interactions. So yeah, with a 13, you're like, dude, get out of my way, and the wino is just like, ah, as his bottle of half-drunk alcohol goes splashing everywhere. But that is a success. You've managed to get past him. Woo. So by this time, David, you've picked yourself up and you're trying to run to catch this guy. Give me another D12.
I bet it's somewhere between 3 and 5. Just saying. Oh, it's a 6. We're getting a little bit further away.
Is it the same hobo?
Hey, a little bit further away, yeah. There's that same hobo who's jumped out of Iris's way and is now like flinging his alcohol about. Damn you, stupid kids! I need you to make for me a coordination check.
Oh, not social. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, not social. A 5 and a 6 is coordination.
15.
15. You see that alcohol flying towards your eyes. You duck your head down out of the way as it's splashing, and you are able to avoid it. You go running as hard as you can, and you see that guy in the coat and the hood. He seems to be like his head's bent over. It looks like he's pulling something over his face. You're coming really close to him, like. You could right now, David, because 3 successes is a success for this chase. So describe for me how you are catching this guy as he's pulling whatever the hell he's pulling over his face.
I'm only at 2.
First one
You have
counted for
2
2.
successes.
No, the first one was a nat 20,
Yeah.
so that was 2 successes.
2 plus this one minus 1, right?
No, the minus 1 only counts if you... It doesn't work that way.
Oh, okay,
no.
okay. I mean, it's... I don't fucking know. David's not supposed to do this.
Just tackle him.
Just tackle him, you nerd!
David's like
Trip and accidentally face plant into
running
him.
and like reaching out with his
Take him at
hand,
the knees.
just like trying to grasp onto anything. And I think he just like grabs a wad of like the back of this dude's clothing.
Oh no. That's a really good way to dislocate your fingers, speaking as someone with that experience.
Yeah.
Well, you go running up and you reach out and you grab that guy on his coat and just grip him as tight as you can. What do you say to him as you do this?
Just, hey, stop.
Hey, stop. And the moment you say that, he does stop. And he straightens up. And his back's still kind of to you as he's straightening up his coat and adjusting the hood. And then he turns. And he says in that same kind of confident voice, well, if you wanted to talk, all you had to do was ask. And that's where we're going to end things for this evening.
All right.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Well, you managed to find some information. You're able to cross off a few ideas off your list, and you actually gained some insight on a possible location for something connected to these mirrors. And then there's this guy. What the hell's going on? But we'll find that out in about 2 weeks, when our next episode is.
Find out next time on Magi-Knights.
Indeed. Well, as always, I go around the table and give everybody a chance to to give a shout out and tell us a little bit about themselves and where we can find you. Let's see here. I'm just going to...
I can go.
Roll it. Yeah, go for it. Daryl. Steven.
This
Where can
Sunday,
we find
Sunday, the second half of our one-shot Defenders of the Wall, where I play a guy who is mostly human. Let's see how that ends up working out for me in a human-centric society that is kind of racist. That's the 25th at 5 p.m. on this same channel. This Sunday.
Yep, Defenders of the Wall Part 2. It should be fun. They're heading into the Shadowfell. Jeff, how about you?
All right. So I am going to be at Utah FanX, Salt Lake City FanX, tomorrow and the next couple of days after that. I'm going to be working with the Foundation for the Prevention of Violence. It's an organization devoted to trying to help victims of domestic violence as well as work to prevent it. I will be a DM there. The games will be 2 hours long, a short little third level one shot. So if you're interested in contributing to that, or if you just like to play a quick game of D&D, I'll be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Dasonie, how about you?
Hey, I'm Dasonie. I've been your disembodied voice today. You can find me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Power Rangers Project Squadron YouTube channel and Power Rangers Savage Stampede. Words are hard today. We're in the middle of a crossover with another Ranger team on the channel. Got done with mine, and then the next one is next Tuesday.
Very cool. Love crossovers. They're lots of fun. Okay, Hito, how about you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Justin. I'm still recruiting for a real big Extra Life thing. We're doing a 12-hour castle siege split into 4 parts, where the actions of one group will absolutely affect the next. Do you care if can I post a link in your Twitch chat? Am I allowed?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
All right. We're still taking people. If you want to sign up, there's a Google form for the casting call. All we really require is that you have a stable internet connection and are willing to be on stream. And we're raising money for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals.
It's very awesome. For some reason, I guess I have web pages or web addresses turned off on chat. I didn't think I did, but I'm going to go ahead and post that same link on our Twitter and one more time for y'all, just so the word can get out and all that stuff. A very cool thing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But okay, Alyssa, go ahead and close this out.
I can be found here on Monday night. And that's about it for now. But if I make some little nerdy crochet dolls and I'm open for commissions, so if you're interested in a cute little nerdy doll, find me on Instagram, Alyssa Crochets, Lyssa Crochets, and send me a message there.
Yeah, she makes awesome stuff. Now, I'm Matthew R. Dawson, or at Scruffy Wanderer on the tweets and the instas. I'm also your friendly neighborhood host and GM here on the Random Rhapsody Network, which is where you can find me every Monday and Wednesday here on Twitch. So on behalf of the Nighty Knights and everyone here in the Random Rhapsody crew, I just want to say thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
Good night.
Alyssa.